Hi guys, and today we're reviewing the Isuzu D-Max XTR. Look at this beast, it looks absolutely awesome. This is the XTR with this body kit on it. It's crazy. It's massive, or it looks massive. It's 5.4 meters long, but in terms of height, it's less than 1.9, so it gets under most height restrictions, and again, width restrictions as well. 1.9 meters wide, less than. It has talking of 1.9, it has a 1.9 litre turbo diesel engine, 4-cylinder under the bonnet, puts out 164 brake horsepower and 360 newton meters of torque. That gives it a top speed of 112 miles per hour and 0 to 62 miles per hour in 13 seconds. You get 40 miles per gallon out of it, and if you're interested, emissions is 183 to 205 grams per 100 kilometers. This thing weighs about 2,000 kilograms, and the flatbed has a payload capacity of 1 ton, and it can tow 3.5 tons. So being an XTR, what do you get? Well, let me run through that for you. It's got bespoke suspension, it's got Kevlar ceramic front brake pads, it's got obviously the body kit and these heavy duty side steps on the vehicle. 17-inch black alloy wheels, and they're shod with 32-inch Pirelli Scorpion all-terrain tires on this thing. This one is in Cosmic Mica Black. It looks pretty cool. Of course, it gets those graphics. I'll come to those in a minute. You also get heated front seats. Now, this car on the road price is £40,000. But this one, this actual car, the press car, has got some options on it. So let me run through that. Inside, you get the infotainment system and sat-nav. That's about £2,155. All of these are plus VAT. On the outside, on the back, you've got a mountaintop cover for the flatbed. You've got the sports bars and the roof rails. All of that is £1,857. Then you've got those cool graphics on the back. That's £525. Then you've got this incredible laser light on the roof there, which literally lights up the night. It's unbelievable. It just turns it into daylight. It's incredible. And it's on the flashes. I think I might have blinded a few people. Anyway, that's £755. It's got green mood lighting, £206. And you notice the green Isuzu badge and the green bits here? That's £126. So let me show you the back of this thing, and let me show you how the roll top works, because if I'm honest, it actually took me a while to figure out as well. So first of all, there's a little lock on the top, and you get an extra key there, which you use to unlock that bit. So basically turn that so that can now go down, but that doesn't actually open it. That's what you would think, right? So then you open the tailgate itself, and this is strong enough to sit on, of course. There's little cup holder things. You can actually sit here and watch the world go by if you want to. And then you've got this strap here, which basically also helps you to pull it back. But in order to open it, you sort of pull it to this side, and there it goes all the way back. And in there, you have got then tons of capacity. Now, there isn't an easy way. There's no step to get into here. Pretty strong, pretty sturdy. So now, to get that back, all you do then is just pull that back. Once you do that, it's locked in place. And put the tailgate back up again, and then you just lock that, and you're in business. So it's really practical in terms of if you want to carry a lot of stuff. But obviously you've noticed that this is a double cab, so it has a rear passenger compartment as well. How practical is that? Let's go check it out. Check it out, you can put the seat back down to give you more room and store stuff. A little bit of stuff behind there, for example, say an umbrella if you wanted to. There you go. And it's been raining a lot lately, so that would make sense. But anyway, you can, of course, get passengers in here. Now, this seat is a little bit upright, but it's not too bad. Check out all of this green stitching. It fits in theme with that whole XTR green badging and green mood lighting and all the rest of it. Nicely trimmed, a little bit suede insert and leather. This, of course, is part of the XTR trim. So, using the step to get into this rather tall vehicle, here we are, and actually I'm 6'2". This driver's seat is set for my driving position, so if you consider it from that point of view, it's actually quite spacious. I've got just about knee room to spare there, no problems with shins, and you can wiggle your feet around as well. So not a lot back here, but it's comfortable. I'm sitting fairly upright, but that's not too bad. Good window area, so it's not claustrophobic. Over here you get basically a couple of cup holders down there, that's that. And then in here, you get an armrest. So you do get an armrest, so two people can sit here quite comfortably. And there's also, I've noticed, Isofix child seat anchor points. So fairly practical. What's it like in the front? Best way to do this is one step on the thing first, and then the other step into the car. That I found is the easiest way to get into this high-sided vehicle. There is a lot of green in here. You know, it makes me feel like the Incredible Hulk. There's so much green in here. Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
So let me start this up, and you can see there is the big infotainment screen that comes in. That was the $2,000 option. Not the greatest sound system, but this screen here does have pretty much everything you need. It does have DAB radio, and I'm just waiting for it to warm up. There you go. And there are all the options. You can go through the Bluetooth and the DAB, AUX, all the rest of it. You do have voice, but I think that's more dependent on if your phone is hooked up to it. And you've got obviously sat nav on there as well. And down here you basically have, these are hidden, but if I can open them, but just about managed to open. There you go. One there, that's an HDMI cable. That's a USB, that's for the actual Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and that's just a charging USB. So 3 ports down there. I'll close them up later on. A very ordinary, normal air conditioning and heating system. So it's not climate control, but it's all knobs. It's reasonably useful. Down here, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. If I can just show you down there, if you could just make it out. You've got basically, that's the heated seats that this car comes with. Now it's useful. They do heat up very nicely and they do get really warm. In fact, I have to turn them down to 1, but they're in a very awkward position. So you have to look down to see whether or not you found the button and what setting they're on. And when you look down, you basically crash if you're driving. Actually, you wouldn't crash. What would happen is that you'd probably drive over a small village and then you'd look up and you go, was that a bump? That's what it would feel like. You wouldn't know in this car because it is so big and tall riding, and the suspension is pretty good. Down here you have the lever. This is 2 high, so rear wheel drive I believe 2 high and 4 high and then 4 low. A manual gearbox, there you go. Down there's a cigarette lighter, that's just for your vents and stuff like that. This is your instrument panel, and you have a button over here in which you can just scroll through the information there. So that's all of that sort of stuff. And then you've got your fuel gauge, the outside temperature, and the temperature of the car. You do have remotes on the steering as well, so that's quite handy. And these are quite cool. Look at this. I like these because A, they are cup holders, and they're on both sides. There's one there as well. A, they are cup holders, but if you don't want to use it as a cup holder, you just put it back, and then it's a tray. So that's actually really clever. Down here, some controls for the mirrors and stuff like that. Another little storage thing there. You can put a bottle in there, and that's actually a bit of storage as well. So quite a few small cavities of storage, including 2 cup holders down here. A big old cubby box, quite spacious in there. There isn't really a tray down here to put your phone. If you plugged it in there, then although you do have, again, more storage space. How do you open this? There's a way of opening this. You see, it's hidden by that big screen. So there should be, there you go, that's her, there you go. And you've got a tray over there as well. And then you've got, obviously, a glove box, but then you've got another glove box over there with, what is that? That's another power supply in there as well. So fairly spacious and practical in that sense. Seating position, again, you're sitting up very tall, good visibility all around. I haven't really had an issue with visibility. The good thing about this car is the only issue that you might have is with the length, but it's not really a problem because it's got a pretty effective reversing camera, so it's not been an issue at all. So the next thing is then to take it for a drive and see what it feels like on the road. So here we go, let's take it for a little bit of a run. As you can see, it does sound and feel like a pickup truck. And yeah, there you go. Once you get to 2,000 RPM is when it really starts to find its feet and gets going. The gears it's a long throw gearbox. It can be a little bit notchy, can be a little bit rubbery. Once you get used to it, it's fine. Reverse is to the left and up. So that takes a little bit of getting used to because sometimes you confuse it with reversing first. Fortunately, nothing untoward has happened, but I figured it out after a while. But you are riding very, very high in this vehicle. This is not a sporty thing in any sense whatsoever, not even in terms of performance, not even in terms of handling. But what it is actually is, again, like second gear, no problem, as long as it's over 2,000 RPM, no issues whatsoever. Fairly. mean, we're rolling a lot here, just going around this roundabout, but we're in no danger of losing grip or poise or anything like that. Steering is light, as you can see. Actually, it's not that light. Honestly speaking, if you're used to cars with very light steering, then you might find this a little bit hefty. But I actually quite like it. So for my taste, it's okay. It's useful. It's light enough. It's just as it should be. So actually, that's very well judged. Of course, no feel. Again, no sportiness. Let's not even talk about that. Let's instead talk about the fact that, you know, what you're looking at, because all I've done, I've not gone off-road in this vehicle, I've not even taken it out of town. I live in northwest London and I've been driving it around London, and I've done that quite deliberately, because you look at something beefy, macho, crazy like this, and I've been getting some looks in this, I'll tell you that much, and people are like, you know, how can you even drive that in London? But actually, you know, the thing is, because of the width and the height not being that much, it's actually very manageable. The length isn't that much of an issue. The wheels, of course, the tires are massive, so even where you do encounter a tight gap, you're not worried about curbing it whatsoever. In fact, you can just mount the pavement and just drive over it. So in that sense, it's really, really handy. And actually around town, it's been no problem whatsoever. You can get into supermarket car parks and all the rest of it, not an issue whatsoever. And, you know, a few trips to IKEA, you can do that. There's loads of room in the back, no issue. So in that sense, it's really good. You have to work the gears though to keep moving, you know, so once you're down to a lower speed, make sure to change down again so you can keep going. And the other good thing about it is that the sheer presence, the sheer size and presence of the thing means that, you know, nobody messes with you. Nobody messes with you. People get out of your way. People give you way. People can see that you're a big truck coming along. That, like, I'm just here. This Golf has immediately moved out of my way the moment he saw me. So that's like, if you like to intimidate people, you can certainly do that. And at night, you can not just intimidate them, but literally zap them out of existence with those crazy laser lights at the top there. With literally, like, you know, if I flash for too long at a human being, I'll probably vaporize them. That's what will happen. It's incredible. So this truck. Now the thing about it is that, okay, I'm going to say to you, it's too expensive for what it is. That's what I feel. But having said that, and if you do have a business or you do a lot of DIY and stuff like that, then it makes a lot of sense to drive around in something that is useful, practical. You can do the off-roading stuff as well, but actually kind of cool and funky, and it's got a lot of style and charisma. And I think that's where it scores really highly, in the sheer presence and attitude that it brings. And I think just for that factor alone, I give it top marks. And also because it's a bit of a laugh, really. It's a bit of a hoot, especially taking it out of context and driving it around London. It's just so absurd that it's fun. It's crazy. So there you go. There's my review of the Isuzu D-Max XTR, an awesome beast of a thing. And top marks for me. Let me know what you think of the vehicle. Let me know what you think of the review, the weather, anything else you want to talk about. Leave it in the comments above below. Elsewhere, make sure that you are subscribing and following all my channels on social media. Just search for #BrownCarGuy. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell thing so you get all the notifications. And don't forget to tell everybody to subscribe and follow me as well. Thanks so much for watching. Until the next one.